Hi, good evening. My name is Mary and I'm here with Mark and Pat Charters, and we are here to talk to you about the dynamic duo, which is a Christian contemporary duo, Faith Charters.
Yes.
And they have just released their first album, and what is it called?
United by Faith.
United by Faith, and it is available for download on all platforms. I think one of the remarkable things that stands out to me about your love story is that you met later on in life. You're both from very different sides of the water, and you've had to overcome a lot of diversity barriers to, forego and foresee your love story. So I think that is something that really, stands out to me about you two as, your journey goes along. Pat, one thing I would love to ask you about as we get into some of these questions is, what is it like being married to an Englishman from Oxford?
Wow. a lot different than what I had anticipated. But certainly very eye-opening for me. And his aspect or take on things is a little bit different than how I normally would see things, and it has just led me to a more well-rounded life, and that's full of happiness.
Oh, is that right, Mark?
Sweet, isn't that sweet? Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, we have two very different perspectives. Both we've come from two very different places in life, but both as social workers, we have a shared perspective in relation to that. Both affected by suicide, professionally and indeed personally. And we're both singer-songwriters. Music's a big part of our lives, as is our faith. So all of that was kind of like two magnets. We were set to be drawn together. But clearly, as you can see, the beauty pretty much drew me to you.
That
In the
segues,
first moment.
that segues great into my next question, which is, what does faith mean to you?
For me, we learned at a young age within the Baptist church that I grew up in that faith is the evidence of things hoped for, and those things that are not seen, believing that they will actually come forth. So it was necessary for me to lean on my faith with the end of my previous marriage, and then the death of my son. And I had two other children that were watching me go through this, and I was working as a bereavement counselor with end of life agency locally. So it made it necessary for me to be able to redirect myself and know that ultimately the plan God has for me was not to harm me.
I was an atheist for a large part of my life, pretty much most of my life, certainly outside of America. Although when I look back, of course, I saw both God at work in my life and indeed my own heart, but I just wasn't able to accept it. It wasn't trendy enough, but I kind of rejected that. But for me, faith is about hope. It is about love. It's about the unseen things. It's the ridiculousness of not believing, if you know what I mean. What we can know at the moment in terms of our evolution as a species is like the handful of leaves in a hand compared with the number of leaves in a forest. I mean, we just simply don't know everything, and the concept that there isn't a bigger power, there isn't a God out there at work is crazy. So for me anyway, since I came to believe in the Lord, so that whole issue of hope, love, grace, acceptance that we cannot possibly know anything, and therefore have something bigger than ourselves in this world.
So how do you think that kind of related to the songs come about, and why music ministry?
Well, I would say that during the time of the pandemic, there was so much going on with the lockdown that it kind of helped you redirect thinking on what really is important, and the encouragement that we needed to provide for not only ourselves, but for those around us.
With dignity, you serve the military, you made it through alive and died at 25. Broken chain will never be the same.
Well, because of my own personal relationship with my son and what ultimately happened with him, recognizing that 22 service members a day will tragically end their own lives. This was an opportunity to join forces with an organization that is working on the concept of resources to allow those that have been in military service not to feel lost and alone after returning home.
That's right. I mean, we aren't a part of that organisation, but we certainly want to give resources to it. But also, it's not an issue just here in the US, UK forces. I would call it as a social worker regularly coming across ex-servicemen, homeless, shop doors, struggling with mental health and addiction. So it's also about how we connect people and how we help through our music ministry.
Talking of connecting, I think it's important to tell the viewers at home how they can access your music. So if they wanted to get in contact with Faith Charters, to download your music, how do they do that?
Yes, okay. Well, we have a website coming up soon. Right now, getting in touch with us, the best way would be through an email, and that's faithcharters@outlook.com. And we're in the process of our music being shared on digital platforms like iTunes.
It's actually it's on those platforms already, but certainly by the time this comes out. So yes, all major platforms will have the songs ready for you to download. You can actually download or have if you're old school like me, you can get the CD sent directly to you by contacting us via directly or via this YouTube or indeed our website. All those contact details will be available on YouTube. We're available also to gig, to provide, to come to anyone who will listen.
Mark and Pat, I really appreciate you spending some time with me tonight and answering all my questions. Just closing out to the viewers, if there's one thing that you would like to say to them, just as a final closeout, what would that be?
You are not alone. You are in someone's thoughts on a regular basis, and you are loved. We want to make sure that you are aware.
My son, my baby boy, my child, my pride, my joy, a mother's son embrace, a warm angelic face, being late for school and breaking every rule, miss graduation day, gave your place away. broken chain will never be the same. Broken chain will never be the same. Running every game, sport in every vein, sunny sense of fun, enjoyed by everyone. I won't hear you call, I won't hear you at all, I won't hear